What he should do is go read Lawrence Goldstone's book, Dark Bargain, where it details the compromises made with the South just to get the Constitution passed. Oh, you want to talk compromise? How about the Hayes-Tilden Compromise, which was never written down, called the Great Compromise of 1877, that ended the 12 years of Reconstruction, that ushered in Jim Crow when they removed the federal troops from the last 3 remaining Southern capitals. We can talk about compromise, the fact that we had a Civil Rights Act of 1866 and one in 1875, and we didn't get another one until 1957, which was rather weak. How about compromise? We had 3 Reconstruction amendments: the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, 15th Amendment. But you know what? America didn't care about those constitutional amendments because of that 1877 compromise, which led to the Civil Rights Act of 64 and the Voting Rights Act of 65 and the Fair Housing Act of 68. And so I need John Kelly to actually go back and read a history book that my 12-year-old nieces are reading right now, because clearly he fell asleep in history.
I don't know if he fell asleep in history, but I'll tell you, my son, who's in the 6th grade, is reading that same history Roland's nieces are. What about Kelly's claim that 150 years ago, states were more important than country, and that he gave up his country to fight for the state of Virginia? Robert E. Lee, I'm talking about.
Well, guess what, Ben? I want to see General Kelly defend anybody who's at ISIS. Because you know what they're doing? They're giving up country for their ideology. It's the same exact thing. See, this is how we normalize white supremacy. And then they say, well, we don't have an appreciation of history. See, then I love this whole deal about how, well, you know, he was an honorable man. Really? There were abolitionists during that particular period who did not believe in slavery. So don't call them men of their time. But maybe General Kelly also didn't read this, which was from Wesley Norris, one of the slaves that he had, where he said that when we ran away, he asked, why did we run away? And we said, because we are free. He ordered us to be beaten, given 50 lashes. And then when one of his overseers wouldn't do it, he said he called Dick Williams, a county constable, who was called in to give us the lashes. And it was Lee who said, lay it on well, an injunction which he did not fail to heed. Not satisfied with simply lacerating our naked flesh, General Lee then ordered the overseer to thoroughly wash our backs with brine, which was done. You call that honorable?
You what call about that decent? Kelly saying that is it fair to judge what happened in that time by the norms and morals and understandings that we have today?
I'm not judging it by the norms and the morals of today. I'm judging it by the norms and the morals of the abolitionists, who were also white, individuals who did not believe in slavery, individuals who did not misconstrue and pimp and degrade the Bible. There were men and women who were white, who were Americans, who did not believe in slavery. I'm not going to somehow just excuse this by saying, well, you know, they were imperfect human beings, it's not going to happen. And then, of course, I was watching Fox, listening to Fox and Friends this morning. They were saying, well, do we negate the Declaration of Independence because Thomas Jefferson owned slaves? Well, maybe we can, because he said the life and pursuit of happiness. That wasn't the case if you were a slave. All men are made equal. That wasn't the case if you were slaves. We have too many people in this country who are white, who do not know history, who want to somehow glorify these Confederate leaders. And I'm telling you right now, they ain't my founding fathers, and they're not my leaders, and we need to have real history, not his story, but history. And I would say to John Kelly, shame on you. And also, you owe Congresswoman Wilson an apology for lying. Don't you dare stand there and talk about honor and sacred and how we treat women when you lied to the American people and you're not man enough to admit it.
Well, you don't have to be a man to tell the truth. There's plenty of women who know how to tell the truth. And it doesn't matter how you feel. The Civil War was about slavery. And I mentioned it earlier in that interview last night, John Kelly lied about Paul Manafort's relationship with President Trump. He lied about George Papadopoulos, how do I say it? Papadopoulos, when he did what? So
Kelly has no honor.
Real quick.
He's a trumpet.
You need to go read a history book too.
A Trump puppet.
In front of you, you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Roland Martin is the host and managing editor of TV One's News One Now. Thanks, Roland. Good to see you.
Go Astros.
All right. Monumental Americans.